We are now live on YouTube, and Mrs. Norman, you may start.
All right. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the I'm a Star Foundation, under the direction of our founder and CEO, Ms. Betty Burney, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to each of you who've joined with us this evening, all of our parents, our guardians, and the families of our Duval County Public School system. It's such a joy to see each of you. We appreciate your presence and we promise you a very fun and informative evening. And we all know because this year has been just a little bit different from past years, you have faced so many new challenges during this pandemic. So we look forward this evening to providing you with some information that we hope will help you finish this year stronger, better, and even just greater than you have in years past. So we're going to go ahead and get started because I know you're looking forward to the draft. And see, we started a little early, so we be finished. We know who our quarterback is and everything when we finish our forum. So we're going to get started. First of all, we're presenting a strategy that affects both students and parents. During this pandemic, there's something that we know affects all of us, and we call it anxiety. What does that mean? So much worry, so much nervousness about something that we don't know the outcome. So we're going to talk a little bit about how to deal with that for just a few minutes. And so we have providing you with this information and providing you with strategies and tips will be one of our district specialists, Miss Christina, I'm gonna have to Greco me, who will talk to you just a little bit about anxiety. Ready, Miss?
Hi there, everyone.
Miss
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Well, my name is Christina Raquelme, and I am a specialist with Duval County Public Schools Parent Academy. Thank you so much for having me this evening. Parent Academy is a free family resource that promotes parental involvement, enhances student achievement, and supports a caregiver's need for personal and individual growth. And I'm going to talk today about a little bit about anxiety. This is a preview of one of our courses called Anxiety Signs, Symptoms, and Strategies. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you all. You all see it okay?
Yes.
Awesome, thank you. So this course is solely intended for informational purposes. I'm not a licensed physician, so I cannot diagnose or treat anyone. So if you do have any concerns about yourself or your child, please go seek the advice of a medical professional. So what's anxiety? Anxiety is your body's natural reaction or response to stressors in the environment. It can cause feelings of fear, worry, or apprehension. So pretty much it's your body's natural fight, flight, or freeze response. And it exists in order to keep us safe, just like it kept our ancestors safe from predators and environmental threats in the past. Everyone experiences anxiety from time to time. And this could be anywhere from going to a job interview, public speaking, taking a test, or even starting a new school for your children. So when anxiety is a very internal feeling. It sometimes can manifest itself in an outwardly way and in a very unexpected way. So some of the things to look out for are having home life, friendships, or schoolwork disrupted, trouble sleeping, regular stomach aches or other physical ailments, if your child becomes avoidant or clingy to parents and caregivers, trouble focusing, fidgety, and this one's a tricky one because fidgety people automatically assume that fidgety means ADHD, but not everything that moves is ADHD. Also, explosive outbursts or anger issues. And again, this is another tricky one. This can make sometimes parents or caregivers think that their child is oppositionally defiant. However, this reaction can occur when a child or any person's fight or flight mechanism is triggered. Also, avoiding situations that can make you anxious is only a short-term solution that can eventually reinforce the anxious behavior. Also, decrease self-esteem and substance abuse. So sometimes childhood anxiety is normal, but it sometimes can manifest itself into something a little bit more serious, and that's an anxiety disorder. So anxiety disorders usually peak at about puberty, but they can also peak or peak again in your early 20s or after any big hormonal change, such as childbirth. One of the most anxiety disorders are one of the most common mental health problems for children and adolescents. And as a child gets older, the number of children with anxiety disorders increases. So 1 out of 10 children will develop an anxiety disorder, and approximately 80% of children do not receive treatment. So the reason why approximately 80% of children do not receive treatment is because parents either inadvertently dismiss symptoms or assume that it is something else altogether. Some adults may have recalled being anxious when they were younger, which means they themselves have been struggling with an anxiety disorder for a very long time. So here are a few common anxiety disorders. One of them is generalized anxiety disorder, or GAD, and it's marked by constant and excessive worry, fatigue, muscle tension and or spasms, for example, clenching your jaw or your eye twitching, and also disturbed sleep. The next one is panic disorder. And panic disorder is when you have multiple episodes of panic or dread that come out of nowhere, aka a panic attack. And a lot of times after someone has their first panic attack, sufferers are in constant fear of having another panic attack, which actually triggers a panic attack. And the last one that we're going to talk a little bit about is social phobia. And it's usually characterized by an intense fear of social performance. So with when you're children, it can impair your child's school performance, for instance, maybe going to school or being called on in class, or even socializing with their peers. So if you suspect that your child or yourself have an anxiety disorder, the first thing is to do is to contact the primary healthcare provider. Or if you choose to, you can go directly to a mental health specialist, such as a counselor, psychologist, or a psychiatrist. And once you are in contact with a mental health specialist, they can help you develop a therapy plan and determine if medication should be part of your treatment plan. So how can you help at home as a parent? You could preview locations that may cause anxiety for your child. You can help to personalize the anxiety by encouraging your child to give their anxiety a name in order to make it more personable, or to make it an external entity so they can feel that they are in charge of the anxiety, not the anxiety being in charge of them. Another way to teach mindfulness is to narrate what's going on around them. This will help your child to be mindful of their surroundings, and it can allow them to recognize what is a safe place and what is not a safe place. Another important thing for parents to do is actually allow your child to become distressed. Avoiding anxiety-provoking situations will only ease anxiety temporarily. The whole purpose of allowing your child to get distressed is for them to use the tools that they've learned in therapy or at home in order to cope with their anxious episode. So that they use these tools in order to let their mind kind of come back online and know that they're feeling safe. And lastly, try not to model overly anxious behavior. Your child can sense if you're feeling overly anxious through your words and through your body language. Try to be a little bit cognizant of how you act around your child. And then the fun part, apps. Who doesn't love a good app? These are some apps that I've used, people in my family use, that are really good anxiety apps. The first one is Headspace, and it teaches meditation and mindfulness skills. The next one is Relax Melodies, and these are sleep sounds that you can mix together to help you sleep. The next one is Calm, and this has sleep, meditation, and relaxation skills and stories. And last but not least, we have Dreamy Kid, and this is purely meditation, and it teaches different kinds of meditation, meditation for sleep, for calm, for confidence, goal setting, and even positive self-image. So if you're interested in a Parent Academy course, feel free to tweet us, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, or send us an email. If you'd like, you can go ahead and take a picture of the screen if you're interested. And lastly, I am going to share our YouTube page. A lot of times when we have had a course that has already previewed, go ahead and put it on our YouTube page. So if you missed a course, you can go ahead and catch it there. You could catch the full version of the anxiety course on our YouTube page in both English and in Spanish. And one last thing I wanted to talk about before I go is that coming up soon in your mailboxes, our May-June catalog is going to be arriving in your mailboxes by next week. So make sure to be on the lookout for that. And if you have any questions, just let us know.
Thank you so much. And I'm sure that
I'm trying to
learned.
stop sharing the screen.
Okay, it's fine.
Are you guys still seeing my screen?
She'll
Oh, there we go.
Uh-huh.
Is it gone?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for providing us with that very pertinent information. And surely you can learn. I'm sure you have learned something, because we are all anxious, and we can learn how to deal with this anxiety. So we wanted to get it from a professional, and that we did. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Good evening. And we're going to continue, as we said, we're moving right along just to provide some information on some basic things that affect you. And hopefully you can get some information that will assist you. Now, during this pandemic, we can't forget about our social concerns. So it doesn't matter if your children are from grades 4 to 12. They are not too young or too old to be concerned about substance abuse awareness. We still have to deal with our regular concerns in addition to our pandemic concerns. So as you notice, our district provides great resources.
My dog, Kaylee on there.
Okay. Okay, so our district does provide a number of concerns, resources that helps us in all of our areas, because they deal with the child holistically. And so that's a good thing. So you've heard about dealing with your anxiety. Now we're gonna just give you some information about how to deal with drug substance awareness. There is a training for parents, and tonight we're just gonna bring this training to your attention so that you can sign up for it and actually get in just a 30-minute training class that will enable you to become aware of your child and what's going on around them, and what you can do to see to it that your child remains on track. So at this time, we're going to go ahead and show those slides. Ms. Burney, are we ready for those slides? I know Mr. Gray was on here. And if not, we will proceed, and we'll show it after we hear our speaker, because as I said, we keep within our time limit. We want to be informative, but we also are mindful of your time. So Ms. Burney, we're going to show those slides that have to do with, here it is. You can have a courageous conversation at home. Can't get simpler and plainer than that. You want to have a conversation with your child. How do you go about having a conversation with your child? There is a courageous conversation that you can have about substance use. And let's see how we can get some information, some parent training about that. It's presented by Mrs. Angela McCray, who is also a specialist in that area. We're going to present some additional information. That's the title. It's aptly entitled A Courageous Conversation, because we're not accusing your friends. We're just having a conversation. Okay?
Thank you, Ms. Norman.
Okay, there you are.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Angela McCray, and I'm a specialist with Duval County Public Schools. And thank you for creating space and the opportunity to share with you a training that is available to parents entitled Courageous Conversations at Home. This training was made possible through a grant, a prevention grant, which was awarded to Duval County Public Schools in 2019. So before COVID-19, we were in the midst of a vaping pandemic. You may not hear much about it because of COVID-19, but believe it or not, it still exists. So every 2 years, there is a random selection of secondary schools that administer the Youth Risk Behavior Survey. And the 2019 data reveal the need for earlier prevention, education, and messaging to our children. The report indicated that our children are experimenting with alcohol and tobacco as early as age 11. So when we think about presenting this in high school, we're probably a tad late. So we want to put in preventions earlier. So our district's response to the data on the YRBS was to provide training and messaging for teachers, for students, and for parents. So throughout the year, we educate teachers to be able to identify signs and symptoms of possible substance use among our students. And we also help students to dispel myths associated with alcohol and tobacco and vaping, and teach them some strategies to make good choices. So one thing that we did was to adopt the Too Good social skills curriculum, which includes 10 45-minute lessons that are available to schools. They're available to our after-school programs, and they're available to our summer programs. We're also supporting you as parents in creating space in your home to have those courageous conversations and to increase your knowledge about the impact of alcohol and tobacco, marijuana, prescription drugs, and how it actually impacts the developing adolescent brain, so that you're ready for those tough questions that may come up in your conversations with your children. We want these type conversations to be the household norm. So talking with young people sometimes can be a little challenging and sometimes uncomfortable. And many of you are probably already having these conversations with your children, whether you are a caregiver, whether you are an advocate for children, or a parent. So these conversations may lead to questions as far as what do we say to them? How do we actually get the conversation started? So Courageous Conversations at Home is about the dangers of substance use. It's a 45-minute virtual training that was created to support you in having those courageous conversations. And I would love to invite you to the training. We have two coming up in May. One is May 11th, and there is one in May 25th. And it's a great forum for you to be able to share your expertise as well. The registration is very easy. Just email me at mcraea1@duvalschools.org, or you can place your email in the chat box if you're seeking more information about any of the resources, or if you're interested in receiving the link to attend the May 11th or the May 25th Courageous Conversations training. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Ms. McCray. We appreciate that. And so parents, jot down that her email, or either leave your name, and it'll just be fun. It's not that long, but just some information that you can learn, the most current information that you can learn for yourself, and so that you can have that courageous conversation with your child. So thank you once again, Ms. McRae. We certainly appreciate that. And as we continue, it is my pleasure to all of you who have joined us this evening. I'm just so honored to be able to present our guest speaker. I must say that I am honored because I had the pleasure at working at the high school that she attended while she was a student there. I had to say that, you know, they usually say I brag about my high school, but the only reason I mention that is because I got to see firsthand how she identified her dreams and goals. She overcame all the obstacles in her life. She worked hard, she persevered, and she ultimately made all of her dreams come true. And now she is living the dream. Our guest speaker is Dr. Christina Jade Mumford Magnesh. I'll go back and forth between Mumford and Magnesh. She was born and raised right here in Jacksonville, Florida. As a vagrant child, she moved between living with her mother, who was addicted to drugs and alcohol, and anyone who would take her in. The backbone of Dr. Mumford's childhood was void of any positive role models, any guidance, or any encouragement. She was victimized, she was abused, she was robbed. But yet her spirit was just never broken. She had always believed that her purpose in life was greater than her circumstances. And that's the speech right there. she just felt that her purpose, and you too have a purpose, was greater than her circumstances. So she remained dedicated to reaching her goal of becoming a dentist. When she was in elementary school, she attended at least 4 different elementary schools. Then she attended Northwestern Middle School. Then she graduated at the top of her class from William Marion Rains Senior High School. She graduated in 2002. And then at that time, she received a full scholarship to attend the Florida A&M University. There she majored in mathematical science and volunteered in the math tutoring lab for 3 consecutive years. During the fall of 2003, she became a member of the Beta Alpha chapter of the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. And she performed many projects and programs for the local community of Tallahassee, Florida. She was also involved in a lot of research projects throughout the community, but that was Christina. After graduating from Florida A&M, she gave birth to her son, and then she moved back to Jacksonville to become a 9th grade algebra teacher at her high school alma mater, William M. Rains. It was then, though, that she remembered what her dream was, her dream of becoming a dentist. So after completing her first year of teaching, we were so sad she had to leave, Dr. Mumford decided to go back into school in Tallahassee to take the required courses to apply for dental school, which was a total of 2 more years. And while she was in Tallahassee with her young son, she worked 2 jobs as an adjunct professor at Tallahassee Community College, as a tutorer, and then she took her full classes at this time. She went to school full time. In fall 2009, Dr. Mumford was accepted into the University of Florida College of Dentistry program, which was a 4-year program. And she says in her autobiography, Oh, you know, that was 10 years, but that didn't stop her. Currently, Dr. Mumford and her husband and 3 children reside here in Jacksonville, Florida, where she practices as a general dentist in the town center area. And she's currently a member, of course, of the National Dental Association, as well as the Florida Dental Association. Parents, students, and friends. What I have said about already spoke for itself. But please help me welcome our very beautiful, successful, and inspirational speaker, Dr. Christina Mumford Magnesh. Dr. Magnesh.
Thank you. Thank you so very much for that introduction. I really appreciate it, and I am honored to be able to present. I love presenting. I know this is definitely a different forum for us. So once everything opens back up, please feel free to reach out. I love, in fact, presenting in person and just getting a feel of my audience. But I really appreciate you guys having me. I do believe that this is a much needed and a great organization to have. Just, you know, listening to some of the resources in which that are available for not just students, but even as parents. I think that, you know, just looking back from when I was growing up, you know, I do realize, you know, my mom, you know, she lived a pretty rough lifestyle. And, you know, she's human. She was human. She was not perfect by far. But it's programs like this that sometimes, you know, as parents, you know, I mean, I'm a parent now, but at the time, looking back as a student and child, just looking back and knowing and wishing maybe she had this type of help and support and the resources that could have helped her with myself and even other parents during that time. So this is a great program, I think, and I am honored to be a part. I do have a short presentation. Let's see here. Let's see, I will attempt to, so bear with me. I'm gonna try and, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm going to attempt to share my screen. Is this it? I believe this is it.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, let's zoom in some. Is that good? Okay, so when I was at the University of Florida College of Dentistry, we had a program called Dental Impressions. And I thought it was a great title, but I also wanted to continue to use that title when I gave my presentation, because I thought it was a great sort of catchy name. So my Dental Impressions, again, I'm Dr. Christina Jade Mumford Magnesh. And I have just a few pictures from when I was a student at William Marion Raines High School. These are just a few pictures from my senior year. I wanted to be very involved, but during that time, I also worked a job and I did hair in school. So I was very active, but not so active because my job and time that was spent working did not allow. So if you are that student that, you know, if you're working, you know, you're trying to balance between working and that of going to school, there's definitely a balance that is needed. And at the time, I must say, I had to grow up pretty fast considering my circumstances. So I worked in order to basically take care of myself pretty much. And there was many programs that I am very thankful for. The Daniel program that I know is still around. I am so very thankful for that program. It, in fact, helped me during that time. And so I just wanted to make sure I pointed that out. But these resources that are available, I am so happy to know that these are still available, not just for students, but parents as well. So many of you may already know these things. So I'm just going to touch on a few of these things. And this is information that I haven't updated. So this might not be correct. So just applying for college. That senior year, I put an average GPA. I'm sure the GPA is to make yourself more competitive. You definitely want to shoot for a higher GPA, but 3.5 I think is still acceptable. Your SAT and ACT scores, you see those there. Again, being involved in extracurricular activities. Usually colleges want to see that you're well-rounded. So they want to see that, you know, you can also not only juggle academia, your academics, but you can also, you know, you're able to multitask. So those are just some, you know, quick things that I wanted to bring up. Just being involved with being your class officer, whether it be band, club, organization, leadership positions, and also community service. Also just getting ready to prepare your transcripts, personal essays, and then filling out your financial aid, things like that. And then scholarships, scholarship applications. There are lots of scholarships that are out there. I was definitely very fortunate that I received a full scholarship to FAMU. But there are other scholarships out there. Once I got to FAMU, I was also applying for those that were very, 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 very useful while I was there. And then I'm just touching a few schools here in the state of Florida, the University of Florida, Florida State, FAMU, and BCU. Those are just some tops, you know, just a few schools here in Florida, but you know that there are plenty of schools that are in Florida. And I mean, not just, you know, universities or, you know, we can also consider community college. When I was teaching at the community college in Tallahassee, my students at the time, some of them, I would ask, what did they want to major in? And half the class said, you know, they wanted to major in various areas. And then half the class said, you know, I don't know yet. And they were pretty down about it. And, you know, at the time I explained to them, sometimes it's not that you have to know right away, because sometimes you're not sure what you want to do. So, you know, I encourage you, if whatever field that you might be interested in, I encourage you to try and shadow that field, because it is imperative. A lot of times you think you know that that's what you want until you get into that field and you find out, wait a minute, this is not what I thought it was going to be. So I encourage you to shadow in those fields, whether if it's pharmacy. At one point, I thought maybe I wanted to try pharmacy. That wasn't my dream, but I did. I took a summer job as a pharmacy technician, and I was like, oh no, I didn't want to count pills. I wanted people interaction, more people interaction. I know they have patients that come and fill prescriptions, but I didn't want to be a pharmacist. I'm happy that I had that opportunity to find out that that wasn't for me. But you know, but I encourage you guys to definitely do that. And let's see, I'm going to keep scrolling here. And once you get to college, okay, so when you get to college, they have different things set up where they say, okay, you want to select your major. And there are various majors ranging from biology, chemistry, nutrition, mathematics, agriculture, computer science, engineering, English, and that's just to name a few. There's dance, there's music, there's a lot of different majors that you can major in or focus on. But you want to ask yourself, what do you want to do with that degree? You don't want to just say, I want to go to college just to say you're going to college either, because college is expensive. And it is don't get me wrong, it is a great investment. But you definitely want to know somewhat of what you may be interested in before you start going into what's called your core not your core, but your major type classes. So when you first get off to school, the first couple of years are just your core classes, English, mathematics, some sort of social studies, and some sort of, they don't call them electives, I forget what they call them. But your first 2 years, you're not technically in your major. So it's not as important then, but it's good to know, because most people, when they get off to college, sometimes they change their major, like I did. I first got to college, I was a biology pre-dentistry major. And that first semester, I lost my dad, and I just thought, oh, I don't think I can do this anymore. I was afraid. I had high anxiety. I know, Christina, you talked about anxiety. I had high anxiety. I was like, wait a minute, I got to go to school for how long now? I got to go to school even more after this. I was like, no, I need to get out and make some money. I don't want to have to do all these years of school. So I changed my major to math. And I look back now, and sometimes as students or our children, we want to be so quick to grow up. We can't wait. We think, oh, I cannot wait till I'm grown. I know a lot of y'all say that to your friends or your family. I can't wait till I'm grown. I can't wait to just get out and be done with school. But I tell you, this adultinghood, I wish somebody would tell me, go take a nap. I want to take a nap. Please, can I take a nap? But I say that to say, I look back and I wish I wasn't in such a rush, but my journey was perfect for me. I'm happy that I did change my major, because most of the students that applied for dental school at the time, they were all mostly science majors. And believe it or not, me being a math major actually had me stand out. So they were like, whoa, who's this math major coming into the dental field? So it was a total different shock for them. So also, anytime you are applying for a job or applying to school or whatever the case may be, or even starting your business, always ask yourself, what are you going to do differently to set yourself apart from the next applicant or the next business? You always want to make sure that you stand out. And believe it or not, majoring in mathematics, that was a thing that helped me stand out. I was always a studious person. I was always a person that stayed on top of my grades. And again, I joined various clubs and organizations when I got to college. But don't forget, academics is why I was there. That was the focus. But again, I just wanted to make sure. But it was great. It was a great experience, not only to show that you were well-rounded, but it also opened up various opportunities because as growing up, my mom was in my life, but my mom, there were just certain things that I just felt my mom didn't teach me as a young lady. I felt like when I got off to college, I was so unpolished. When I met and got to know a lot of my sorority sisters, believe it or not, a lot of them were older than myself. And believe it or not, they helped me, they helped mold me into the young lady, partly the young lady that I am today. So I am thankful for that. Just getting to know such a variety of women. And I shadowed dentists locally and family that were in the dental field. My mom was also a dental technician. So that's actually how I got exposed to this field. She made dentures for a living. And so that's part of the reason I wanted to be a dentist. However, I wanted to, save the people's teeth. I didn't want to have to give them dentures. So, I can make some great dentures too, but I wanted to save teeth. So, but the coursework for dental school, I'm going to go through this quick and I'll show you all some cool cases. So as of, again, these are old things, but I was able to apply to dental school because I went back to take these prerequisites that are required. So again, they didn't care what I really majored in. They just wanted to make sure I took these core classes, or what's called the required classes, which are listed here. These are very similar to that of medical school. So if you're interested in going to med school, these are most of the courses, but they're not limited to these courses. And then we had to do we had to take a test called the dental admissions test. And then careers in dentistry. Careers in dentistry range, myself, I am a general dentist. What does that mean exactly? A general dentist does basically general procedures. However, I do lots of procedures ranging from fillings to crown, bridges, dentures, implants, Invisalign to straighten teeth. I do Botox. I do lots of cosmetic veneers and things like that. I see children and I see adults. So as a general dentist, I cover a wide variety range of procedures, and I see a wide variety and range of ages as well. The youngest patient I have is 18 months, and my oldest patient is about 92. So specialty dentist is listed here. The pediatric dentist, they only see children. So they specialize only in seeing children and usually special needs patients. The endodontist, they do root canals. They specialize only in root canals. Now I do root canals, but any type of complex root canals, I refer them to the endodontist. The specialist orthodontist, they specialize in braces. Again, I provide what's called Invisalign, but I don't do traditional braces. So the orthodontist would do those. A periodontist, they specialize in bone and gum health. I treat bone and gum health unless it is a complex case, then I refer it to my great friends. And then prosthodontists, they specialize in prosthetics. Mainly like dentures and what they call high bridges and things like that. Again, I do those as well, but just not complex cases. And then oral surgeons. Oral surgeons, they do a wide variety of things ranging from third wisdom teeth removals, implants, sometimes reconstruction surgery if patients are in some sort of accident or had some sort of accident to the face. But I remove wisdom teeth as well, unless it is a complex case. And then a few other positions in the dental field. We have hygienists. Those are, they usually clean my patient's teeth, and my dental assistants, they're chair side with me. And just to give you an idea of the range of salaries, a general dentist, they usually start out at about $130,000 a year. That can go up depending on how much of a producer you are. That can go up as high as 300,000. But coming out, it averages about 130,000. Specialty dentists, I have 200,000 here, but specialty dentists, they make about almost 500,000 a year, depending on what they specialize in. Hygienists. So hygienists, they make about 60,000 a year. And so they get paid on average about $32 to $36 an hour. And their schooling only requires about 2 years of schooling. A dental assistant, they make some decent money. They start around $18 an hour, and they can average about 38 and even more. Some of them can get as high as $26 an hour, and they have programs as short as 6 months. Dental technicians, and as you can see here, they start out at about $16, and they can, depending on their area of specialties, they can, get up there to about almost $30 an hour as well. So this is me chair side. I was actually doing my first implant in this picture. So I'm just going to show a few quick pictures, and then I'm going to show a few cases. Sorry. That's the orthodontist, and then periodontist, prosthodontist, oral surgeon. And here's a glimpse of what I do. So this patient here, he came in from New York. He was here from New York with his family. And he came into my office at about 4 o'clock. And he said, I broke my tooth. I need some help. So now if you take a look at this x-ray right here, there's absolutely no tooth structure left there. And so I explained to him that if I did anything to his teeth, he would have to have what's called root canals. And I would have to literally build his tooth back up. As you can see, there's nothing left here. But I did this by hand, and we didn't leave the office until about 7 o'clock that night. So, but he was very happy. I did explain to him that these were only temporary, but I don't know They may still be there, but I did explain to him that those might not last very long, but he went back home and he was fine. This is a patient, she had spaces. She came to me and she said, I want to close my spaces. And I did clear aligner therapy, Invisalign for her. So she went from this picture to that picture, or this picture to that picture. This patient was missing some front teeth and he did not want to go with a denture and he did not want to go with anything that he had to take in and out. So we did a bridge on him. So I used these teeth, those healthy teeth on the side as anchors. You're probably wondering how the heck did that happen? He had gold teeth on those teeth. And there's nothing wrong with gold teeth, but I always tell patients that if you're going to have any type of prosthesis in your mouth, you should be visiting a dentist regularly for us to check and see if there's any type of openings or if there's any type of defect in the margin so that we could have caught it sooner. But anyway, he was happy with that. That was a bridge. And this patient, she was actually my old hygienist. She was about 62, and over the years she had grinded her teeth down, and she said, you know, I want to look a little younger and I want longer teeth. And so we did veneers on her, and this was actually just a temp. I forgot to upload the permanent picture, but these were just temporaries. So this picture from going here to here, she was very, very satisfied with those results, and definitely it made her look younger. This patient, he came to me and unfortunately I could not save his teeth. And so he was definitely afraid of the dentist. I do not sedate patients, but I definitely make sure that patients are comfortable. He was very comfortable. We had to end up removing all of his teeth, and he has dentures. Oh man, he was leaving the office trying to hit on my front desk after he had these done. So he was it boosted his confidence for sure. This patient, he wanted to close this space here, and he did not want to do a bridge. So if you remember back up top, we were able to do a bridge, and he didn't want to do a bridge. He didn't want to have to drill on those teeth on the side to anchor to hold that missing tooth. So we placed an implant. So as you can see right here, that final picture, that's the product of the implant with the crown on top. So that's the implant, and then that's the crown. This patient, she went through Invisalign, and we had to end up doing veneers and crowns on her. So she had a combination of veneers and crowns. You can't really tell which one is the veneer or crown, but she basically had a smile makeover. This is one of my favorite cases. But she was very happy with that. Now she smiles a lot. So she loves the outcome. And any questions? Sorry, I was trying to keep it short. So that was it, Ms. Norman. If they have questions, oh wait, let me check. I didn't check the live chat.
Okay.
I don't even know how to do that. Let's see. Okay, let's go back here. Okay. So, but that concluded my presentation. But no, I appreciate you guys for having me, and feel free to reach out. I am located in the town center. If you have any questions regarding career, or if you need an exam even, come see me. If you have questions about dental health, definitely give me a call. I can't wait till everything opens back up, because I would love to get back into mentoring and things like that. So I look forward to somehow partnering with you guys and going a little further with this.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Mumford Magnesh. We are so grateful to you for taking time out from your busy schedule to share with us this evening. She was most excited about coming, and that's, of course, that's the indication of a good person who has succeeded and didn't want to share what they've done with others. And so let's give her a big hand. We are so grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming and share with us. And these are the students, many of them who have done extremely well. And I'm sure that they're listening to you as they just buckle down and know that no dream is too large, that they can follow their dreams. Just start doing a little at a time as they're doing right now. Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. And now Principal Foster is still with us. He was here initially. Principal Foster there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, thank you so much. We just want to welcome him, Principal Foster, for just a few minutes. The man who he really doesn't need any introduction. He's known among all of us for his wisdom, for his knowledge, but mainly for his kindness and his helpfulness. The Honorable Principal Vincent Foster, and he's going to share with you just a few things that you need to know in order to ensure that your child is finishing successfully, strong and successfully. Thank you, Mr. Foster.
Okay, Ms. Norman, thank you for the kind words and greetings to all of the esteemed guests as well as parents and students. I won't be long. I just wanted to greet you from Bridge to Success High School and remind you all that we are on the final stretch of this long marathon, which is called a school year. But it is not time to give up now. It is time to press forward and make it a successful final quarter. We are about 4.5 weeks into the fourth quarter, and it is time now to push and finish strong. I appreciate all I've heard about the anxiety and the doctor or the dentist story. It inspired me, and hopefully it inspired the students who are on this platform, as well as the parents, that the story is not over. You're still writing your story, and it's never too late to finish what you have started. So the only thing that I can say you need to know, we are approaching our testing season, a very important time in your child's academic career. It can bring about anxiety, but I say that if you are prepared, if you've done your studies throughout the year, you should be able to breeze through those assessments. It provides anxiety for not only you, but for me as a principal and teachers alike. So we all want to make sure that you'll have a great showing. And one way to do that, and I'm speaking to the parents now, make sure as these assessments start next week in earnest, that your son or daughter gets the proper rest and proper nutrition. Make sure that they go to bed on time and make it to school on time. It's going to be very important. Those testing windows and times start early in the school day, and we would hate for them to miss out on that opportunity to sit for the test the first time and not have to make it up. So if anything I can say, it is very important that they are in school and present during those days of those assessments. And my final word is, I know there's a lot of noise out there about what this year is going to be. Last year, we were in the throes of the beginning of a pandemic, and the state of Florida decided to waive assessments and some requirements. Everything that I've heard thus far is that that is not going to be the case this year. So if you are thinking that is the case, please take that out of your mind and focus on school as normal, and that we will all get through this together. Thank you for the time and this platform, Ms. Burney and Ms. Norman, and that's all I have. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Mr. Foster. If you have any questions, you feel free to call the school. They are always open to helping you and listening to you. And now our middle school principal, Ms. Pryor. Is Ms. Pryor on? Okay, as you all know, we are our middle school principal is Mrs. Pryor, Miss Amelia Pryor, and she has motivated many of you who in middle school and elementary school simply by being an outstanding example for you and by sharing her expertise and knowledge with you. Uh, if she is not here, then I know that you would have.
I'm sorry, Ms. Norman. She's not able to take part at this time.
Okay.
This is
All right.
Mr. Wiles.
Okay, Mr. Lyles. I see Mr. Lyles. I see a lot of our middle school assistant principals because I had seen Ms. Copeland and Ms. Lyles, which I'm always thrilled to see them because they're always also helpful. But we thank Ms. Pryor, who's also, as I said, a living example, and she shares her expertise, also very helpful. And so if you have any questions or any concerns, feel free to call the school and they'll be glad to answer any questions because her desire also is that you finish strong and successful. Thank you so much, Mr. Lyles. We're glad you're here because now we're going to go into academics, and certainly we want you to award your students. So once again, we want to thank our principals for sharing that information with our parents and our students. And just know that you have two outstanding principals who are there to assist you in successfully crossing that bridge to success. And at this time, it is our pleasure. You saw an example, Dr. Christina Mumford Magnesh, who I'm sure should have motivated and inspired everybody. She had that dream. She followed that dream. And like I said, she didn't make a big deal out of it, that it was in her spirit and in her mind. And that's exactly what she did. And so we're so thankful. And when she came back to Rains High School, everybody was so thrilled. I was not there, but everybody's so thrilled. And so broke our heart after she had to leave after that year because we knew she was coming back to help the students. And so the students, many of the students here today are students who are doing well. And so we want to pause at this time to recognize you as we encourage you to live the life of your dreams. So we want to recognize you and let you know that you're doing well, you're on your way. Don't let anything stop you, but continue to pursue your dreams. You have what it takes. With the hard work that you've already shown and your perseverance, you are well on your way. So at this time, we are going to recognize you beginning with our middle schools. At this time, Ms. Burney will put up the names and that particular principal. If you're here, you can go ahead and recognize your students because we promised our parents, the many parents that I talked to, I was so excited and probably more excited than they were. It's just so good to see the students doing so well, and we want to acknowledge them for all of their hard work. West Side High.
Just one moment, Mrs. Norman.
Okay. And we're recognizing those who made the honor roll. And then our star award will go to those students who made all A's. But when you make all A's and B's, that is quite an achievement. I guess maybe I'm the only one who gets so excited. I'm talking, are you excited? Oh goodness, they were persistent all the way to the end. I'm just so excited that they were doing well, which means that they're going to continue to do well. So we're going to, you want me to begin with Jeb Stewart, Ms. Burney?
Just one moment, Mrs. Norman.
Okay.
I'm trying to make sure that everything.
Okay. All right, we're going to wait just a moment. But as I say, parents, thank you so much for joining us this evening. This is so exciting. And like I say, we had a model in here who can model for you what your children can do. And I know you want your children to do well.
Okay, these are Jeb Stewart's.
Yes, ma'am. These, and I saw Ms. Copeland, you still with us, Assistant Principal Copeland?
Absolutely, I'm here.
And Ms. Copeland, also a role model for all to follow, a great role model as a student, and she continues as an administrator. And thank you. Will you recognize these are your honor students? Miss Copeland. Trying to see how
Yes,
you-
ma'am. Thank you all so much for joining us. I'm not sure if any of my parents are on the Zoom call this evening. However, I'm going to still call each and every name.
And tell
These
the
are our
parents to yell out, because some of your parents should be here now. Miss.
well, I hope so, considering I sent out these emails very faithfully.
You sure did. That's why I say some should be here. Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Copeland.
Okay, so these are my honor roll students.
Okay.
First, we have 8th grade, we have Michael Collins. 7th grade, we have Emily Medsday. Now, Ashanti Lewis is not a student at Jeb Stewart. However, she must be an honor roll student at one of our sites.
Okay. I'll put her down and be sure we have her at the correct place. All right.
Yes. Another of my 8th graders is missing. Her name is Jelana Wilson. I'm so glad I know my babies. Jelana Wilson is missing on this list.
How do you spell her first name?
Jah.
Okay.
Hyphen Lana.
Okay. All
Wilson.
Right. All right. Thank you.
Shailene Mosick, Taylor Stevens, and Diego Vasquez Batista.
Okay.
Those are my honor roll students.
Okay.
Is it another page?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then your most improved.
So my most improved 2 students were Carter Metz and Audric LeBoy.
Right. Great. Congratulations, parents. Okay. All right. All of your honor students. And I don't think that, no.
Mrs. Harper is there for West Jack's BTS.
Okay. Ms. Harper.
Miss Harper she's at school dealing with preparing for testing materials.
Oh, okay. All right.
If she doesn't mind, I'll go ahead and stand in for her.
Oh, please. Okay.
That's what we do.
All right. Thank you. I love it.
All 8 honor roll for our West Jacksonville site. We have Stacy Mitchell, Tiandre Pittman, and Avria Ward.
Okay, are any of those parents on? Because they promised. Okay. And these are their honor roll students. These are their honor
Tiandre.
Ma'am? Tiandre?
Yes.
Yay!
Hey, because I told you, you had better. Okay, thanks. All right.
Okay,
now these are their honor students, Ms. Copeland, if you can call them out.
Yes, ma'am. Janetta Brown, Poncello Cadet, Andre Hagens, Carrie Hughes, Carlito Johnson, Kyra June, Sierra Kingston, Micaiah McCarthy, Carlos Murphy, and Kaylee Norman.
Okay, all right. Are any of those parents here? You want to do a shout out? Okay, and all 8 honor rolls. Those are the, okay. No,
I think
okay.
it's a continuation of our honor roll students.
Yeah, that's why I think the other was Tiandre, and those were the ones who made all 8. Okay, thank you so much. In fact, we had about 17 from West Jack, but they have the largest population.
I have some moments, Norman.
And 3.
It's a few more.
Okay.
She has a few more to read.
Yeah.
I don't want to exclude anybody, especially if their parents are on.
No.
Dakari Porter.
Okay, parents.
Darius Brim. Darius Prime. DeMonte Robinson. Julianne Robinson. And then we have this, the 8 honor roll. We have Kyra June, Sierra Kingston, Micaiah McCarthy, Carlos Murphy, and Kaylee Norman.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, your parents. Yay. If you give a shout out if you're here, we should have had a lot of parents here. We have a lot of parents on, so we appreciate you, parents, and we salute your students. Okay, now Mr. Lyles is here from APR Middle.
Now, this is APR High School, Mrs. Norman.
Okay, you want to do high school? Okay, we do high school. Is Mr. Salas
He's
here?
not. He's at a dental appointment, but I will stand in for him.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay, our All A honor roll was Christopher Ware. I believe he and his family is on. Congratulations.
Yeah, okay, all right. Okay.
All right, then our superstar seniors are Jaheim Mathis, Aaron Merritt. Aaron Merritt is actually at our West Side campus, and then Aaliyah Moon and Terrence Peterson.
And those are all our seniors. We're recognizing them as superstar seniors because I think we had about 5. I'm missing. Well, I think Christopher goes with them. Just to salute these students who are continuing to do well as they prepare for graduation. They are well on their way. So they are superstars and we salute them. All right. Yeah.
There's more.
Yeah. All right.
There's more for the, now you have the AB honor roll.
The AB now, pull them on up, Miss. All right.
They're on the screen.
Okay.
And then we have the AB honor roll, Amante Anglin. And I can't see that last name. I mean, the last name is Walker.
Walker, yes, Pyler Walker.
Pyler Walker, yes.
And then the most improved.
And then our 2 most improved students from A. Philip Randolph High is Zon Walker and Levon Murphy.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, all right, okay. Now we get the West Side, and you want to do those also, Mr. Foster?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
All right, our All A honor roll is Angelina Roman. Then our super senior at the West Side campus is Rachel Hector.
Yes, that was our 5th one. Doing an outstanding job.
Yes, and then our AB honor roll was Tristan Doan and Latarian Williams.
Are any of those parents on? All right. Okay.
All right, and our most improved, and I believe Zariana is on.
Tristan! Okay.
She came in, and Zariana is a very bright young lady, and so bright that she would always try to get out of classes because she finishes her work before everybody else does. Found out that she was bored, so guess what? I put her to work and made her my executive intern. So she has the work and she has the job, which is great. Congratulations, Ariana. And then
thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
This her father.
Okay, all right. Nice to meet you.
Yes.
And then we have
great, thank you.
Christian Pemberton. He's not on, but I want to recognize him as well. Is Pemberton
Foster,
on? Yes, ma'am.
No, his family is on
okay,
YouTube.
Great.
Yes, his family is on YouTube.
Okay,
and they are very excited. They want me to read this. Yay, that's my baby. I'm extremely excited and proud of my son, Christian Pemberton's hard work to finish strong. Thanks for everyone's help to get him to this great ending to his senior year. That's on our YouTube. So thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. That's wonderful. And Christian is also great. Christian started the year at home, but recognized that he needed to be face-to-face in order for him to focus in and get done with his senior year. So I applaud Christian and the decision he made to come back to campus.
Now we have A. Philip Randolph Middle.
Middle, yeah, we coming to live. Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
Awesome, awesome. Thank you all for Dr. Burney and Ms. Norman for putting this great event on again. And now we'll list the students who are some of our honor students and top students from the APR middle site. I first want to mention that the young lady that Ms. Copeland read, Ashanti Lewis, she's one of the students that's at our APR middle site. So she would have been on this list here.
Okay, all right. I'll put that in. Thank you.
So yes, ma'am. In addition to Ashanti Lewis, we also had Asia Newsom, Andrea Perez, Travis Price, and Michael White. All of them in addition to Ashanti, made the AB honor roll. I want to give a special shout out to Asia Newsom. Asia is a young lady who had put in an application to come to the Bridge to Success before this year. This was not her first time trying to get into our program. And I love that she stuck with it. We took her in this year, and it's been great. We have seen this young lady grow and mature throughout the school year. And she didn't make honor roll previous, but she made honor roll this third quarter, and she's definitely on track to stay on the honor roll for the fourth quarter. In addition to that, earlier this week, she was excited to tell me she got her very first job, which she'll start on this weekend at a pizza restaurant. So we're so pleased with how we've seen this young lady grow and mature throughout this year. Next, I wanted to shout out our students who made straight A's this quarter or for the third quarter, and they would be Akila Jenkins, Shamina Jenkins Collins, and Kyra Morrow. And one other thing I want to mention about these three young ladies who made the straight A honor roll, as well as Andrea Perez from our AB honor roll list, we actually were able to offer the state civics EOC early this school year. We were able to have some of our 8th grade students take it in January to see if they might be ready to pass the test, 3 or 4 months early than it's normally given in May. And we had most of our students that we did administer it to early, most of them passed, including those 3 from the A honor roll. Several of them actually got a perfect level 5 on it, just to show you the kind of students that we have at the Bridge to Success. So I just wanted to give a special shout out to those students.
That is so wonderful, Mr. Lyles. Excellent.
And
thank you so much.
Your most, the 2 that she sent in for most improved also were Akila Jenkins and Shamina. Those
Absolutely.
were the 2 names. Okay, those were the 2 names.
Yes, ma'am. Those 2 young ladies have been stellar students for us throughout the year. And one of the areas where they have improved is they have quickly seen that they're on it themselves, but they took it upon themselves with guidance from our great team that we have at the APR site, including our 2 wonderful CIS coordinators, to take on more of a mentoring role. They know once they know that they've gotten themselves together, what can they do for their fellow classmates? And I think that because of their assistance, we've been able to increase our amount of students who've made on a roll each quarter so far this year.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. And as we come to an end, we thank you. We know we're a little over time, but it's so exciting. And before I turn it over to Ms. Burney, we want to express our thanks to all of you who helped us. Mr. Lyles, I guess you got your FAMU shirt on because of Dr. Christina up there, Ms. FAMU up there. But we thank you we thank the ones who are here, the assistant principals. We have Ms. Copeland and Mr. Lyles. And of course, we thank Principal Foster for hanging with us because we know they have long days. So they give up their time because they too are so interested in the students. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And of course, we want to thank Dr. Christina Mumford. Thank you so much for taking time from your busy schedules, because I can tell that you're excited about sharing what you learned with the others. You want others to be as successful as you. And that's a real blessing. And also we thank our district specialists for being with us, and as also our other district specialist, Ms. McCray. We thank her for being with us this evening. Special shout out to our Bridge to Success, at least our staff, the IMASA staff, Ms. Evelyn Kennebrew, our administrative assistant, and also Ms. Maya Dawson-Jones, as well as Ms. Victoria Perry. And now I'll turn it over to the person who sees that it all runs smoothly and who's responsible for I'm a Star and for doing what she can to support the students in Bridge to Success. Please help me welcome, ladies and gentlemen, parents, I thank you so much. I see a number of you were on. I'm so excited that you were on. And like I said, I'm so pleased because I know you share in the excitement of your children and in their accomplishments. And we thank you so much. And now, Ms. Burney, our founder and CEO, thank you for everything that you do, and we'll turn it over to you.
Thank you so very much, Mrs. Norman. I first want to say thank you to Dr. Mumford Magnesh. Students who are on the call, if you listened to what she had to say, there was so much just wrapped up in the first two sentences of what she said.
Yeah.
She really walked you through how you make sure that you finish strong. She may not have started out strong, but she most definitely finished strong and continues to be strong along the way. And so thank you so very much. I enjoyed every moment of what you said, and just looking at your work is magical. So thank you for doing those things that you were placed on this earth to do. To Mr. Foster, who we've been in this with since day one, when the Bridge to Success program started. Mr. Foster, thank you for all that you do. I've seen all of the growth. Mr. Lyles, you really should be very proud of what your students have accomplished. That is just exceptional. And of course, we always know that Ms. Copeland and her students are just doing so wonderfully well. And to all of our students and parents who are on tonight, you can do absolutely, positively anything that you set your mind to. You just have to decide to do it. Don't let life happen to you. You happen to life.
Yeah.
You do what it is that you're supposed to do. We've gotten through, well, we're getting through a pandemic. That's a feat in itself.
Yeah.
And so also to the Amastar staff, thank you so much. Mrs. Norman mentioned most of them. We also have Mr. Hank Rogers, but Mrs. Norman, thank you so much for this is the final parent session for this year. And thank you for all that you've done. So to all of you, I'm wishing each of you a good night. Congratulations to all of our students. And don't forget, if you are on the Zoom, please place your name in the chat. We normally do our wheel of winners where we select one person to get a gift card, but because I'm having issues with my computer, I'm unable to do that, but we'll find a way to put everybody's name in to make sure that Ms. Norman will be able to select one and we'll get the gift card to the school. So thank you so very much, all of you. It is now 7:22 p.m. We wanted to make sure that we were done before 7:30. Wonderful evening. Thank you. Thank you, district staff. Everyone have a good evening. Good night.
Thank you. Okay, good night. Okay. Miss
Good night.
Christina, I'll call you, Dr. Christina.
Okay, okay, we'll talk soon. Thanks for having me.
Okay, love you. I'll call you. Okay.
Love you too. Have a good night.
You're quite an inspiration, Dr. Mumford.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
She has never complained about anything. She really didn't.
Mr. Lyles.
Mr. Lyles gone. Thank him so much. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, we had a lot of parents. We should have gotten all the parents because I see some Pacello and those who promised they were coming. There to be. Okay.
Yes.
So hopefully they all signed in.
That's what I was checking to see.
Yeah, because Poncello, he's on that cadet. Hopefully he signed in. And Christopher Ware parent. And hopefully you have those.
All right, everyone.
Miss Norman, this is Mr. Lyles. I'm still here.
Okay, Mr. Lyles.
Mr. Lyles, I just wanted to speak with you to tell you that you have always made sure that our students do well, and I'm just so very proud of what you do.
Make you cry.
And
I tell you.
if nobody else tells you that they're proud of you, I'm telling you, I'm very proud of you. Thank you so much for being an
Oh my
inspiration.
goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Dr. Burney, I can't tell you. I'm trying to keep myself together here. It's been a difficult year. It's been a difficult year for everyone, but it's been hard.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And I really appreciate
both he and Ms. Copeland Goble and beyond and the others, and we are so grateful. We appreciate it. Don't take it for granted. We know it's extra work, but we thank you. And you can
thank
see
you all for all that you
water
do.
your children, you know.
All righty.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you all have a good night.
All right, thank you.
Y'all too.
All right.